Okay, let me do 5.
What's going on, y'all? Attorney Tom here with day 3 of the trial of Tim Heidecker. Tim is accused of felony murder. Remember, felony murder. You don't need intent to be guilty of felony murder. Essentially, what you are doing is proving that a death was foreseeable because it was in the course and scope of a dangerous or enumerated felony. Here, the underlying felony is selling these vape devices that were from China and not regulated and had crazy random chemicals in them. Tim's job is to distance himself from Dr. Sanchez, saying, hey, listen, I was a victim in this too. This guy played me. It's not going well for Tim. Tim has also gone pro se, which is a huge mistake. We're in day 3, and let's just see what happens.
The prosecution would like to call Mrs. Amanda Davis to the stand.
Amanda Davis.
Your daughter was 17 when she left you.
Yes, she was 17.
If there was anything that you could say to her, what would that be?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled.
I would.
Objection, speculation. To what the mother would say to her daughter, Tim. First of all, that is not a correct objection because it's literally the mother. She knows what she's going to say. Second of all, even if it was, sometimes the best thing to do in court is not to object, because even if you're technically correct, which he's not, you look like a total jerk in front of the jury. What do you think the jury's going to think of that, Tim?
Condolences. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I am also the parent of a deceased child, my son, Tom Cruise Jr. Heidecker, who's sort of familiar with the THC. From one grieving parent to another, I'm with you here. And we're in sort of this special club, I guess you could say, which, you know, is what it is. The court allow it, and I would ask that we maybe even dim the lights here and just take a few moments and just reflect. Does the prosecution object?
We don't object, Your Honor.
Okay,
I will allow the moment of silence, but dimming the lights is a bit much, Mr. Heidecker.
fair enough. Thank you, Judge. Moment of silence can begin at this time. Take a moment to remember Valerie and the rest of the electric sun, 19 I should say, 19 not 20.
I believe it was a moment of silence.
Yes.
Were you ever physically...
So I've never actually heard of a moment of silence in court, but even though it was poorly executed, I understand Tim's strategy, trying to empathize, put himself in the victim's chair. I don't know when or how Tom Cruise Jr. was lost. I don't know if he was part of the Electric Sun Music Festival, but watchers of the show, please educate me. Let me know in the comments. But hey, if the judge allows a moment of silence, then there can be a moment of silence.
abused by Mr. Heidecker?
Objection.
Overruled.
Watch it, Mark.
Your Honor?
Heidecker.
Yep.
Witness intimidation. Let's see where this goes.
Can you speak up? You were physically abused by Mr. Heidecker, is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you describe the nature of the assault by Mr. Heidecker?
He'll bop me, and he'll slap me and choke me sometimes. During the Oscar special, he threw stuff at me, and
I saw that fucking tape of you, Mark. You fucking asshole. You try to make yourself look like Decker.
Do you understand that performance is an act of self-expression that's...
Okay, so before Tim says something that he'll probably regret, what Tim should be doing is objecting or should have objected or at the very onset of trial filed a motion in limine to limit this guy's testimony. It appears this guy is his employee. He was not a victim of the Electric Sun 20. He was not at the festival. He's simply an employee of Tim. So the argument would be, what relevance does this have to do with Tim's case with the Electric Sun 20? Tim should make the argument that any testimony this guy gives is unduly prejudicial. The prejudicial value far outweighs any probative value, so it should be excluded. What the prosecution is going to argue is that this is character evidence. It shows that Tim has a propensity to act like a total butthead. Basically, they're trying to prove that Tim has the characteristics of a very bad person.
Me to get a truck. I mean, a food
And you
truck.
disobeyed me.
No, you didn't give me any money. You didn't tell me where I can find one. And I told you I don't have my license because it got expired.
Am I supposed to tell you how to put one foot in front of the other?
Objection, argumentative.
I'm asking,
Sustained.
how much of your job am I supposed to do for you?
I didn't know how to do it. You told me to get a food truck. I don't know where to
You're
go
an
get
adult.
food trucks.
Are you an adult?
Yes?
Well, then you can't figure out how to do something as simple as secure a truck, provide food for a festival?
Mr. Heidecker, you are arguing with the witness. You are not questioning the witness.
I'm getting a little frustrated with the witness right now,
I'm
Mr.
getting very
Judge.
frustrated with you, Mr. Heidecker.
I was put him in charge as my employee, and I have the right to do whatever I want with him. I have
That's not true.
the constitutional right to strike him if he disobeys me. And right now, he's still under my supervision. He still technically works for me.
Your Honor, this defendant is intimidating this
I am
witness.
not intimidated. I'll intimidate you, believe me. This is my right. Then he is under my control. No, if he disobeyed me, it's my right. I'll fuck you up, Mark. Believe me. I'll fuck you up. Hold on. Don't. Oh, I'm out. I need 5. Hold me in. I need 5.
Remember, the jury is seeing all of this. So right, wrong, or indifferent, which Tim is totally wrong, by the way, the jury's already made up their mind. At least if I was on the jury, I would have already made up my mind.
Mr. Heidecker, I'm entering a citation of contempt for you that was heard in Department 107, Judge Wilder, on December the 4th.
Thank you. Yes, and I just want to extend apologies to the counselors to my left and to Bailiff Sanchez. Thank you. And to the rest, to the court, especially the jury, who I love.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Alessandro Saradamini as our next witness.
Hey, that's the guy who dapped up Tim at the beginning of trial.
Case number 02CF025.
Let's see what happens.
You are partners in a musical project, is that correct?
Yes, the car or
You
DKR.
enter as exhibit number 25, the song referred to entitled Que Con Me.
Objection.
What is it?
Que Con Me.
Generally, if the judge asks you for an objection, that means the judge probably thinks there's something that you should be objecting to.
Did Mr. Heidecker take the melody of your song and use it for his own song?
I mean,
Again, if I was Tim, I would have filed a motion in limine or objected to this individual taking the stand. It appears this has nothing to do with the Electric Sun Music Festival with the distributing of the vapes. This is all just character evidence, and they're trying to paint Tim as a bad person. Any of this testimony, which it might very well be allowed, but when you're on the defense, you have a job to advocate for yourself or for your side. I would say this is unduly prejudicial. I mean, come on. What does this have to do? You already put on the former assistant, now you're putting on somebody in his band. What does this have to do with the underlying crime? They are just trying to prejudice the jury.
May I look at your hand? What happened?
I donated it to Tim. He needed it more than me, so.
What?
You're saying you donated your right hand to
Yes.
Timothy Heidecker.
Yes, he needed it more than me. He's my brother. Do you have a brother? Would you do it for your brother? I do.
What was the Italian song that we played? What was the name of it?
Qui con me?
Yeah, lyrics in English to the best. What is the general? Can you give us some samples of the lyrics there?
It talks about having a good time, just,
Pretty
catching up with friends and, spending time together at the beach.
And
What's the deal with the hand? Can someone please explain who's seen this show?
Could you describe for the jury your history or relationship with Mr. Heidecker?
So the ex-wife of Mr. Heidecker, interesting. A lot of states have privilege between spouses, meaning if a person commits a crime, their spouse cannot be compelled to testify against them. Sometimes this extends to ex-spouses, but not all the time, and also is normally the spouse's choice. So even if there is a spousal exemption or immunity from testifying, it seems like Miss Otani is probably there voluntarily if there's anything I know about Tim Heidecker.
I came to this country as a foreign exchange student from Japan. Tim and his wife let me stay at their place, and after Tim's first divorce with his wife, we fell in love, and soon I became pregnant with his son. Tim wanted me to get an abortion, but I chose to keep the baby.
What kind of man would you say Tim Heidecker is?
Tim is a very confused and angry man. He sometimes has a violent temper, and he was very upset with Tom Jr. all the time.
And did you witness his violent temper on occasion?
Yes, Dr. Sam made so many mistakes, but Tim kept forgiving him, including the death of our son. I don't understand why Tim keep dealing with Dr. Sam. He must have known Dr. Sam was a bad doctor.
Do you need a moment?
Okay, so that makes sense. So Tim's ex-wife, at first I was thinking, why is she testifying? This is definitely unduly prejudicial. They're just trying to basically character assassinate Tim. But the prosecution is trying to show his connection with Dr. Sam, specifically starting to show that he knew or should have known that Dr. Sam was not a qualified individual to be doing business with or to be acting in a medical situation, yet Tim continued his relationship with him anyway, even if it resulted in the death of his own son.
You're remarried?
Yes.
And his name?
Satoshi Otani.
S-A-T.
O-S-H-I.
Okay, he's Japanese?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody you knew before coming to America, or fresh?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance?
Curiosity? You're under oath? Understand that?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll ask you a simple question, just for the record. Are you still in love with me?
No.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor? Yeah.
Also, side note, I love Tim's, not profile picture, mugshot. I love Tim's mugshot. It's hilarious. You kind of feel bad for Tim, but at the same time, not really.
Okay, I'll just let me do 5.
Okay. You don't really get to tell you ask the judge for permission, and also he's the defendant in this case. You can't probably just walk out of the courtroom. You probably need to be escorted by a bailiff. I don't know. things aren't looking good for Tim, y'all. Things are not looking good for Tim. I'm going to react to day 4 of the trial here pretty soon. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. It does me a huge favor. Every time you hit the like button, it pushes the video out on the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out. Consider subscribing to this channel. We have a lot of fun. We cover a whole variety of subjects. The law, finance, random stuff. My goal is always to make content worthy of your time. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks again for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye.